Okay, optional. Find someone to decrypt the AS technology. Let's have a look. What have we got? Return the data to the Stockwell payphone. Find someone to decrypt the AS technology data. Decide what to do with the AS technology data. See if she can decrypt the data for us, and then we can decide what to do with it. No, she can't do anything with it. Maybe... Maybe the mage Alphalon can decrypt it for us. Absent smiles up you from the counter. The light catches her hair in such a way that it looks like spun gold. Richard, a pleasure as always. What can I do for you? I'm looking to buy some magic. You'll be around the corner. Thank you very much. Wonder if he can decrypt it for us because it's ancient. I have a question for you. You're in luck. I have a great many answers. I came across some data on a job. It is written in a foreign language. Maybe you can take a look at it. Yes, of course. Hand it to me if you will. Algernon sweeps his eyes over the information on your PDA. His mouth curls into a frown and then grimace of disgust. This is an abomination. You would do well to delete it. I thought you said that you didn't discriminate when it came to magical traditions. What is it? Nothing that should exist. But you are looking for specifics, and you will continue asking until I have them. Impatience of youth. Oh, very well then. I'll try to provide the knowledge that you seek. There is a great power in blood. It can be used as a focus, a battery, or a bridge. The blood mages of the Techno-Chilliton are widely feared for their proficiency in abusing this power. This project, this bloodline, seeks to abuse the power of blood in a novel and horrifying way. With the techniques described in this document, a spellcaster could use a person's blood as a magical conduit. In layman's terms, a spell could be channeled through the father to kill his son, through a niece to kill her aunt, anyone with hereditary connection to the original target, regardless of distance. Do you see the ramifications of this, Richard? Do you understand what this means? Were the project completed, were the techniques described within to be perfected, nobody would be safe. You could run and hide, you could go around, you could go to ground, you could bury yourself in a mile of concrete and it wouldn't matter. As long as AS technology can find a blood connection to their prey, they could target them and it would be fatal. He hands back the PDA, information intact. This is yours, Richard, you have my consent. I will leave the rest to you. So I can either give it to the payphone. Well, I have to go to the payphone anyway, it looks like. And then it'll probably be this information. What would you like to do with it? Deliver the project data or walk away. Do we want this on the free... Do we want free information about this on... I don't know yet. I'm going to walk away. Sorry, let's actually go up and click and see what happens. So if they're interested in free information, but this is something serious that they need to get rid of. Deliver the project data. The machine accepts the data upload and a few moments later a certified cred stick pops out. Freedom, equality, information, walk away. Just got the achievement, information is free. Well, they asked for it, so they got it, but destroying it might have been the better choice in the long term. Richard, you don't look so good. No, I imagine I don't, so I'm guessing that the rescue attempt didn't go so well. No, it did not. As it turns out, she didn't need to be rescued, at least not before I showed up. I don't really want to go into this, Chief, so here is the abridged version. I made a mess of things. With your world-class skills, how could that ever happen? I don't know, Chief, I really don't. I hit the data node just like last time, and just like last time, navigating it was a breeze. At least it was in the beginning. The Aussies must have beefed up their security over the past year. You don't say. He shakes his head, a miserable expression on his face. It was all going so well, but I guess I must have tripped something. In the blink of an eye, there was alarms going off. Then I had black ice bearing down on me from all directions. I thought I was a dead man. Well, how did you make it out? Well, Emily found me and she turns his head and looks away. She rescued me. I've been ecstatic to see her. If I wasn't so ashamed, she didn't look particularly happy either. We finally reunited with your lost love. Something right. That's bad. Did she make it? Did she make it out okay too? The last I saw Emily, she was being chased down by black ice. They got a trace on her. Then she must have jacked out because she just disappeared. She looked really, really angry. Livid would probably be a better word. And that's about it. She's gone, Richard. He looks down into his cup of soy calf in his hands. I don't know if I'll ever find her again. Stop being so doom and gloom. That isn't the Blitz I know. She'll come back to you. Just wait and see. Yeah, I guess so. A cheerful tone chirps out from the terminal on Blizz's table. Jerks up in surprise and hurriedly turns on to read the message on screen. As he mouths the words, you can see the hope on his face flicker and die. If anything, he looks even more miserable than he did before. It's a message from Emily. Glances at you with a red rim eyes, then averts his gaze. Without a word, he turns the terminal so you can read the message on screen. Congratulations, jackass. You managed to blow an op 5 years in the making and endanger Emily's life, all in one fell swoop. Thanks to you, we're going to have to work very hard to keep your ex alive. Don't bother looking for her again. She's been moved somewhere very, very far away. She never wants to speak to you again. By the way, idiot. Freedom, equality, information. Clamshells the terminal closed, then puts his head in his hands. At least you know that she was working for. He replies and does. Somehow that's not a consolation. No, I guess not. Chief, let me ask you something. Did you suspect that something like this was going to happen when you let me do this? Did you know that I was going to fuck it up somehow? No, of course not. How could I? I don't know. I guess I'm just on edge right now. In all honesty, I think that this will do you good in your lesson humility. I know you can't see it right now, but having Emily, the fact of the matter is, you steered yourself into a mess. Stop trying to lay blame and take a look at your actions. That's true. He hangs his head. I'm always going to mess things up. Now you've acknowledged that, you can make an effort to change. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it's too late for me and Emily, but I can still try to be the man she hoped I could be. Good plan. I'll leave it to you. Alright, Chief. I've got some things to do. Let's talk to everyone and then we'll look about getting paid. We've got a job to prepare for, Rich. I don't have any more time to talk. Hit me after the run if you need anything, okay? Okay. What can I do for you? Any thoughts on our last run? That complex needed to be buried. What they were working on in there, it was an atrocity, Richard. I'm glad we were able to put a stop to it. Okay. Saving the clones was a bold move. It would have been easier to leave them there where they were, considering them collateral damage, but it was the right choice. Any thoughts on our last run? You know, boss, living in Berlin, I never thought I'd get the chance to go up against the Blood Mage. Yesterday was my lucky day. Not sure how I feel about you freeing those clones. It might have been kinder to put them out their misery. Shrugs, it was your call though. Any updates on Alexander? Nothing new, boss is adjusting. It's going to take some time. So let's go look at my panel. Check your inbox for new messages. Continued assistance. Thank you for your service. As a sign of our appreciation, we decided to reward you with a little piece of biotech that one of our operatives acquired on a recent job. If you wish to take advantage of it, go see Dr. Extrabel. The implantation surgery has already been paid for, so there'll be no cost to you. Thanks again for your help and enjoy your new toy. In the jobs directory, claim payment. You've submitted your payment. If you're receiving this message, I've fled the country or am otherwise unavailable. Don't worry, you'll still be getting paid. I've made the appropriate preparations. In any case, Richard, thank you for your help. Please do not attempt to contact me again. As far as the world and my former employer is concerned, I am buried under a ton of rubble. It would be best if it remains that way. A moment later, you see your salary. Payment from client 336,000 New Yen, deductions for crew salary 9,600, ammunition and resupply 2,400, automatic deduction for Alice funds 1,800, remainder sent to my account 6,000. Any active jobs? Back to route. Check the status of the Alice fund. Transfer Alice's to the payment. Account admin override password required. Current admin user Paul Amstel. Please speak to me when you're ready to proceed with Alice's payment. Let's look at the Shadowrun BS. Post pay data for sale. Donor list. And then claim payment. Financial reports 441. Go back. So then we've got some stuff going on there as well I can read. Let's walk away. Let's speak to Amstel then. And we've got DVD to watch, and we've got... I have nothing new for you, Richard, and we have no time to waste. You have Alice's money, and we need the information to get to the rabbit hole and hurry and find one clear before the Firewing finds us. I need your password. I need your password to transfer the payments into the credit stick. Amstel sucks in a deep breath. He suddenly looks as though an enormous weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Yes, very good, excellent. In fact, this has been a long time coming. Yeah, it has too long. Well, my friend, the wait is over now. Alright, before you go see Alice, there are a few things that you should know. Firstly, this is a one-way operation. Once the funds have been transferred to the credit stick, the only person who will be able to access them is Alice. As far as the team is concerned, the money will simply disappear. Well, it's not like we're planning on doing anything else with it anyway. Keep going. Secondly, once you make your way to the rabbit hole with the funds, it's time to go. I trust that you understand what that means. Clarify it for me. What it means is that retrieving Alice's information will be your only priority. No more distractions and no more side work. I'll be busy myself cancelling your remaining jobs and smoothing any ruffled feathers. Makes sense. Anything else? Just that you need to be sure before committing to this. Time is important. A great dragon wants us dead, and that is not a thing to take lightly, but you shouldn't return to the rabbit hole until you are prepared to act. If you have any doubts, then I urge you to wait. I understand. I'm ready. Proceed. He breathes a sigh of relief. Excellent. The password is Volkinger. Once you are en route to the rabbit hole with the funds for Alice's payment, I will cancel your team's remaining obligations. Understood? I have to say, Richard, this lifts an enormous weight off my shoulders. When Monica brought you on board, I was initially unsure about you. I would never have said that to anyone else, of course, but I keep you under a watchful eye. I can see now I needn't have done. Doubted her judgment. She chose her successor well. Now please go fetch the information from Alice. Claps his hand on shoulder. We are one step closer to surviving this mess. I think it would probably be a good idea to go see if there's any more. Do some shopping first, actually. Nope. Let's get rid of that. Yeah. Nvidia has new graphic options for you. Hello again, I hear you've been busy. Gossip travels fast, doesn't it? It's not gossip, it's work, survival really. Aren't there child labour laws around here? Puffs up real instantly and realises how young she must really be. She couldn't be much out of her teens. And what does that mean? Well, it's just that there's probably some stories that are hard for you to hear at your age. She glances away fervently, appearing to remember something before beaming back at you, surprised what I've seen. Even before I started being intel bound, I can handle it, otherwise Utug would not trust me with the work. Speaking of which, I should probably get back to work. Let me know if there's anything else you need. See if you're selling anything new. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Smiles, light catches her hair. Okay, that's all I need. So it doesn't look like they've got anything new. Might as well grab the funds and the DVD and then get going. Transfer payment. What was the password again? It was something silly, wasn't it? Volklin, so VOLKLING, VOLK. No, need to actually click the button before I start typing. VOLKLIN. Right, VOLKLINGEN. Funds disappear from your account. Moments later, a message pops up on screen. Transfer complete. Sitting in stock in a keyboard, a green LED blooms to life. Analysis cred stick. The trigger has been pulled and the rabbit hole awaits. So let's watch the final DVD while we're here. Load the fourth DVD. Soft whirring sound fills the DVD player. Play track 1. Ramps up. Time start. Green Winter's face appears on screen. The time is 2050-0428. This is it, the interview. Took some digging to find, but here it is. My big brother back in his prime. Time start. The note disappears. For a moment, the screen goes blank. Suddenly, an image of a news correspondent flashes. Oh, sorry. Flashes onto screen, accompanied by a brief orchestral flourish. Timestamp in the upper corner of the screen reveals the date of August 22, 2012. Interviewer. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to you live from the ruins of Stratton House, the 5th Hans mountain town to be sacked by the Dragon Firewing. Yeah, I'm saying Firewing instead of the German word because I can't say it. Or if I do pronounce it, I will probably butcher it. Standing by my side is the head of the Heil Defense, Dr. Adrian von Clare. Dr. von Clare has been hailed as the leader of the efforts to bring down the Firewing and end a reign of terror. Dr. von Clare, tell us about your efforts to bring down the dragon. Killing the monster has proven difficult to say the least. Her speed and maneuverability in the air are extraordinary. Her scales repel small arms fire and her breath can melt steel. Our R&D teams have been working around the clock to devise weapon capable of downing the beast. In the interim, we are providing material support for the Luftwaffe's attempt to shoot it down via conventional means. Herr von Clare, why are you directing Dahal's defence energies to killing the Firewing. Are there corporate interests at play in this? Corporate interests, no. This is a matter of human interest. Innocent lives are being extinguished at an appalling rate. I am in a position to end it, to put an end to the slaughter, and I must do it. And so I must. It is really that simple. Dr. Von Clare, you must understand my scepticism. Our viewers aren't looking for a PR statement, they come to us through it. I'm afraid that I don't have time to go back and forth on this. Your viewers can think whatever they wish. My concern is helping the people that are affected by this tragedy. In that case, Dr. Von Clare, I thank you for sharing your valuable input, very valuable time with us. You're very welcome. To the viewers at home, stay safe and watch the skies. Salvation is coming, I promise. Again, that was Dr. Adrian Von Clare, CEO of Dahal Defence. Dr. Von Clare is the chief architect of the military's current plan to bring down the Dragon Firewing. Stay tuned for more late breaking news on the battle for the Hares Mountain. We'll be right back. Video comes to an end and you find yourself dumped back in the main menu. Play track 2. Display is a face of Green Winters. Winked onto the screen. There's a look of astonishment on his face. Timestamp is 20:54:11:17. Holy shit, I just stumbled onto something of Adrian's old lab notes. I'm not going to say how I came across them. Someone might get hurt if the wrong people watch this, but I've checked them against some of Adrian's old handwriting scribbles. They are legitimate. Holy shit, this is big. Alright, back up. Slow down, breathe. He takes a moment to calm himself. Okay, these notes, they pretty much confirm something that I've always expected. The Luftwaffe didn't shoot down the Firewing. I mean, they tried. They pumped thousands of rounds into the air around her. They lobbed rockets at her for months. Lost a lot of attack helicopters and fighter craft in the process. But none of these things were responsible for taking her down. Dragonfall was caused by an experimental warhead, one of Adrian and his Delisle defense think tank's designs. I don't understand the science of it, not even a little bit, but from what I can piece together, it looks like it was designed some sort of chemical radiological agent that acts on the metagene. I don't think that it was fully understood what they were doing. It was 2012 after all. I mean, the process worked, but I don't know if they understood why it worked. Anyway, when the warhead was full of the stuff, coming into contact with a dual-natured creature like a dragon, said it drives a wedge between the creature's physical and astral forms. The body gets put into sort of a hibernation state and the spirit is forced out of it. It also looks like the process can maintain the state of separation indefinitely, and that's a pretty horrifying thought. This incorporated body supposed to die in a few hours. I've heard horror stories about ghosts walking mages getting trapped in the astral space. Upon unable to rejoin with their meat, I've heard they went crazy from the pain. If what I'm reading is accurate, it is entirely possible that Firewing has been trapped outside of her body for over 40 years. Winters pushed his chairs back and slaps the table in front of him. This is why Adrian was also always so cagey about the subject of Firewing after the Dragonfall. He knew for a fact that she was still alive, even if only technically her body crashed into the sock. Sure, but she wasn't dead. The government wouldn't let Adrian tell the public about this, of course. It'd interfere with the lie that they were feeding us, that the Firewing was dead, and that everyone was safe, and that people should stop hiding in their basements and get back to work. But probably he always said that she was still out there, somewhere deep in the sock. I always thought that he was paranoid, but I was wrong. He knew. So what does this all mean? It means that stories I've got from the Ghost Rat suddenly sound a lot more plausible. It means that Firewing is definitely alive, and that Adrian's disappearance is unquestionably tied to her survival. It also means that Germany's in deep shit, because if Firewing is still alive, it's only a matter of time before she rears her ugly head again. Okay, that's enough for one night. I'm going to go get drunk. Track 3. Green Winters appears. Timestamp is 20:33:05:15. Look, Adrian, I understand you. Lord knows I do, but you've got to drop this dragon fixation. People are starting to talk. There's a camera cut, and then you find yourself looking at a young, handsome Adrian Von Clare. He's wearing a slight smile on his face. Oh, they're talking, are they? That's a terrible shame. Damn it, Adrian, this is serious. You're a public figure. You cannot lose everything if you don't keep these ridiculous fairy tales to yourself. Hear me, my theories are not, as you call them, fairy tales. Dragons are real. I saved Germany from one. I have you forgotten? No, of course not. Everyone knows that you killed the Firewing. Stopped, not killed. Fine, stopped, whatever. Winters swipes a bottle off the table in front of him, drains it, and then drops it to the floor. Call it what you want, but Adrian, you're the only one who is still obsessed with the damn things. There aren't that many of them, and they're not taking over the world. Montclair's voice is quiet and soft, such as the cry of a cancer patient, unaware of what's killing him. I'm fine, not to worry. I'll smoke another cigarette. What's the harm? He doesn't see what's happening, but he winds up dead all the same. Winter snorts. Now you're just being mandolin. Like, I don't know what that is. Look, Adrian. Montclair shakes his head, his smile has disappeared. You mark my words, Hermie. Within 5 years, corporations, even countries, will fall to these creatures. And the worst part is nobody will care. Oh, and people will tut-tut about it. There may be a protest or two, but nobody will actually do anything to stop them. The immortal, all-powerful, utterly pitiless reptiles will seize more and more of our power, wealth and territory. And we foolish, short-sighted mortals will never get it back. Green Winters chuckles uncomfortably, raising his hands in the air in a supplicating gesture. Come now, Adrian. Montclair talks over his brother's interruption. We could solve the problem, of course, but we, as a species, are unwilling to invest our energies into problems that aren't staring us in the face. As it was with climate change, so it is with dragons. I've accepted that. But you can't ask me to stop caring about it. Winter shakes his head. You're hopeless, Adrian. Fine. By all means, keep caring. Just keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. I'm telling you this for your own sake. Yes, Hermie, you're right, of course. I mustn't jeopardise my credibility with the masses. Winter's expression turns serious. His voice is lowered. It's not just your credibility that I'm worried about. Talk is talks, but sometimes, he pauses and shakes his head, sometimes I'm worried that you're really going back to the sock. Hermie, aye. Winters cuts off his brother, a new intensity burning in his voice. Please, big brother, just drop all of this. Stop hunting the Firewing. And start living your life again. If you won't do it for yourself, then for Christ's sake do it for me. Montclair nods and looks away from the screen. Alright, Hermie, I'll try. Cuts back to the main menu. A few seconds later, the screen fills with text. Jolly Green Winters, last active, first 1554, male, human, Caucasian, muscular, age 50. I'm a fun-loving guy who's a great listener of hiking, clubbing, and all kinds of pets. I'm looking for a cute, funny, adventurous girl who's going to party. I don't respond to profiles without pics, no orcs, no trolls, sorry ladies. Eject the disc. Okay, so we had a dating profile at the end. Now, would it have clicked over now that... Need some text, let's see what we've got. How much money do I actually have now? 21,099. So I've got enough to probably increase my magic levels, but do I want to wait until I've given Alice her stuff, her payment? Yeah, I think I'll wait and I'll give Alice her payment and then we'll... Because I'm not sure what happens after this, because I've never got this far. Would you like to go travel to the rabbit hole? So everything from here, well, saying that, everything from the previous one was there. Like I'd never done any of the runs previous to this. Down the rabbit hole. Tiny cred stick feels heavy in your pocket, fat with the weight of a huge hard-won Nuyen. The U-Bahn station swallows you up and send you hurtling down the rabbit hole towards Alice, towards the information you've bled for. The train pulls to a stop and doors hiss open to a dark old platform. With luck, answers lie ahead. There's probably nothing. Yep. So we need to click on this. Alice's console stands alone against the filthy wall of the U-Bahn platform. The colourful sprites that flicker across the screen stand sharp in contrast to the grimy background. Search payment into the machine. Credit stick port in the machine greedily accepts your payment. You watch as the black plastic of the credit stick case disappears into the console. Moments later, a message winks onto the screen. Richard, couldn't wait for you any longer. Something is tracking me, something terrible. Need to get out of town. Go dark for a while. If you're smart, you will too. But a deal's a deal. When you punch the flashing button of the console, it spits out an optical chip with your information. Take my advice, whatever this Von Clair's business is, you drop it and run. And for God's sake, Richard, stay out of the Matrix. It isn't safe. Message fades from the screen and the button on the console begins to flash. Press the button. You can hear the whine of motors spinning up in the arcane cabinet. With a smooth mechanical motion, a generic brand optical chip slides out of the payment port in front of you. Abruptly, the screen goes black. The console powers down. The optical chip sits in the cradle and waiting for you to take it. Take the chip. The instant the chip leaves the cradle, the machine reboots itself. You are again alone. As you settle in for the trip back, you can feel the rest of the world compartmentalizing and falling away. No more distractions, just you, the train and the optical chip. It sits in your pocket like a hot stone, impossible to ignore. Chain ramps up speed, filling the air with monotonous electrical whir, sound of soft, low and urgent, like the drowning wings of an enormous insect. It'll be soothing if your mind wasn't occupied with other matters. All at once, monotony is broken. Your PDA is buzzing. A quick glance at the screen tells you that it's Paul Amstel is on the other end. Answer the call. You hit the receive button on your PDA. One look at the grainy image that blossoms to life on screen is enough to tell you that something has gone terribly wrong. The strangled sound of panic breathing punch through your PDA's tiny speakers. In the image window you can see the outlines of figures silhouetted against the backdrop of Amstel's shop. View rotates, bringing them towards the centre of the frame. The image sharpens. In the centre of the screen stands an enormous orc in battle armour, a hand cannon levelled at something just out of frame. His face is shiny meat of grafted tissue. His smile is something of a nightmare. Let him go. The orc doesn't respond. You don't hear your own echo over Amstel's microphone. Either it must be muted or the volume on your end of the conversation. You watch piously as the orc grins widens. The frantic breaths that you hear coming from the off-screen increase in frequency. From off-screen you hear Amstel's frantic voice. Aldron, please, tell me what this is all about. What are the Firewing's plans? You're going to kill me, anyone? Anyway, don't send me to the grave without... Your stomach drops as the gun bucks and roars in the orc's hand. Your view on the PDA pitch widens, then you come across a sudden stop with a violent cracking sound. Burst of static flood the screen. A moment later, a dark shape falls into view with something force. You hear an unmistakable sound of bone crunching against the hard wood. Camera auto adjusts and the dark shape swims into focus. You are staring into and though the dripping cavernous ruins of what was once a human head. The remnants of the face that remains are enough to confirm what your gut already knows. The body on screen is that of Paul Amstel. From out of frame far away you can hear another voice, a woman, young, and the sound of it with the military cadence. What now, sir? Now we press the advantage. Jam their comms. Sound of hurried motion recedes in the background. Alright, remember people, Amstel was the brains of this operation, but the rest will put up a lot more of a fight. Flush them out and take him down one by one. So look, Amstel's wrist, the PDA. I think it's recording. God fucking damn it. You hear the roar of another gunshot and the screen goes dark. Your vision swims and the screen of PDA seems to fade. The impact of what You just witnessed hammers in your gut over and over again. Amstel is dead. The crew of Zara is under attack, and even possibly that an ambush party is waiting to meet you at the U-Bahn platform. Whatever your attackers have planned, won't be able to do much about it from here. The train speeding towards your home station. No more stops between you and the enemy. Nothing to do but prepare yourself and wait. So we're going to war. The barrel of Iger's rifle swings upwards. She emerges from cover, turning to face you. About time you showed up. Light plays off Iger's face like a street light on a rain-slick asphalt. Her face, her neck, her chest are sheathed in a slick, dark liquid. Blood, a lot of blood. Are you alright? I'm fine. He only nicked my thigh. Iger wipes the mouth with the back of her hand and then hoisted up the corpse from behind the makeshift barricade. A young man, maybe in his early 20s, his eyes frozen wide open, what's left of his throat hanging down in a ragged flaps. This, up here, it isn't mine. I'm surprised you let him get close. Good God. God gave me tests for a reason. I don't think he'll mind that I used them. Did you meet with Alice? Do you have her information? Yeah, I got an optical chip. We have to use my mission computer to open it. Whatever's on that chip, those bastards don't want us to read it. All the more reason to do exactly that. After we put the rest of them in the ground. I get they killed Paul, I saw it. Yeah, I know. He had us all patched in on that call. We all saw what happened. I figured that I'd try to ambush. I figured they'd try to ambush you at the problem. And ventilate the train, take you out and cut off our potential escape route. He shrugs. It's what I would have done. That's what I do. So I hightailed it out here and set up an ambush of my own. Thanks, Iger. She smirks at you. Save it. I'm here to protect the optical chip. That thing cost us 50 grand after all. Anyway, that's enough talk. Got a job to do. Iger swings up a rifle over his shoulder. There are an unknown number of enemy hostiles topside. They're well equipped, decently trained, and hell-bent on killing us. The last I heard, Glory was on the north end of town. Diedrich was out getting coffee when all hell broke loose. Let's go get them. Our friends need help. Let's go give it to them. +1 action point. Your experience has increased your ability to operate in dangerous situations. Yay! Got an extra action point. I'm going to grab a quick drink, so I'm going to take a quick break. Because the game's just saved. So I'll come back in about 5 minutes and carry on. Thank you very much. We'll see what happens next.